So the big question here is, where do you go and how do you find different LP positions and different APRs or different tokens? This is probably one of the hardest things people come across, is trying to find the positions and actually getting into them at the right time. Now, one key piece of advice I suppose I would give here is you need to switch your mind from the high APRs, APR chasing, and focus on something and building an entire system for yourself. Now, I want to still show people how you can actually find different tokens and different APRs and potentially get in early too. However, for me personally now, my approach has changed. Gone are the days of APR chasing. I'm more focused on long-term sustainable yield farming, and pretty much to give me a bit more time to kind of do the things I enjoy doing. So with that in mind, you can see here I did this LP position a couple of probably 2 weeks ago, I think now, give or take, and you can see the blue lines here. This is obviously ETH and USDC, and this range was only a 10% width of a range. And again, it's too narrow, because you go in and out of range too often, and you left checking charts, and to be honest, you'd be almost nearly better to be trading at this stage. So what I tend to do now, and what my focus will be, is focusing on wider ranges, so I can kind of capture more of the entire market without necessarily having things too tight and too wide. Obviously, that APRs are no good for me. So this is something I'm definitely paying attention to going forward, and a complete change in mentality. So with that in mind, a little bit, I suppose, what we're doing here. I will be posting some of these different positions I get into onto my website. I'm also in the middle of building a group out. You can check out the link in the description. You can learn more to potentially join that, as I said, for free. But the key thing here is building out positions and building them sustainable. So with that in mind, I use my own X account pretty much to go through different tokens, have a look at different ecosystems, see what's happening, and that gives me the general kind of basis of where I'm going, and potential opportunities is the main one. Other than that, what I use is 4 different tools. So we have Krystal app is a good one for kind of understanding different positions, and all these are obviously going to give you different positions. But you can see here, different vols, different APRs, different ranges, and again, you have to do a bit of your own research on using the actual platform. Now, I don't use the Krystal platform at all. I just kind of go through this, glance through to see the different opportunities that are out there. Again, there is some of them that you might see, and you'll think straight away to yourself that it's worth maybe investigating a little bit further, because at the end of the day, you can't see everything and you can't always capture everything. So Krystal, as I said, I really like it for the simplicity, and I like the way this changes, because it can give you an idea again of different opportunities, and again, just get the grips of what's happening. So if you can see here, we have wrapped eats. It's giving you pretty much, these are strategies I think that people are actually using at the moment, and again, giving you an opportunity for ranges. But you can see here, I think the ranges on some of these are very tight, and it's something you have to pay attention to. As I mentioned, 70 APR and 30,000. You know yourself roughly how the difference is and what it is all about, because at the end of the day, that is extremely tight ranges and getting crazy APRs. So as I said, use Krystal to kind of help you that. I use this next platform. I use this from time to time with my accounts on setting up positions, because I think it is really good to show you P&Ls, profit and loss, shows you different positions obviously you're in. But again, we can go to discovery here, and pretty much from here we have a host of different options what we're wanting to get into. You can see this position, wrapped USDC, over an Arbitrum network. And again, it's positions in this pool can serve as collateral for a loan, which is obviously good. And again, you can see the fee APR is 59%. Nothing wrong with that. We have another position here, concentrate liquidity on base, wrapped USDC, and I think this is the one I would have been in myself that I was just talking about a moment ago. But again, you're getting 49% on it. Now again, this can be changed and adjusted again to kind of eke out a bit more with the concentrate liquidity and the ranges. But you can see here all the different options that we have. Now, it's pretty much up to yourself what network you want to go into. So if we decide we want to focus on base, for example, in this, and we just want to focus on wrapped ETH and wrapped BTC, we just look on wrapped ETH, then you can see here exactly the opportunities that are associated with wrapped ETH. Now, if you want to go to, I think it is just BTC. So if we go to wrapped BTC, or we have to go to CB. So if we go to Coinbase's version of wrapped Bitcoin, you can see here more opportunities. So we wrapped Bitcoin here, 26%. Oops, 26%. Again, you have another opportunity there. I think I just seen that. So we have this is bond ETH and USDC. Again, we're not interested in that, but we have USDC and CB, again, BTC, 32%. So there's definitely opportunities out there for the tokens you want. Again, some of these positions, like for example, this one that I mentioned here, the bond ETH, I haven't a clue what that is. However, I can see the TVL is obviously not too bad. It's almost up to 1 million. Volume is high. So it may be something that you could potentially look at and learn a bit more about. And this is where I wouldn't have seen this without kind of glancing through these positions. Again, what you can do, as I mentioned, we put it into CB and we can sort the APRs from the highest down. Again, you can see this one, USDC and CBBTC again. You can see the TVL, you can see the volume, massive volume coming through it. Again, could be an opportunity to pretty much see is it worth getting into the position. Now, again, as I mentioned, I would make sure that you're building this into overall what your goals and strategies are. Don't just, as I mentioned, hunt for APRs and chase APRs, because at the end of the day, they can absolutely crucify you doing that. You can see here top positions in this at the moment, and it gives you a lot more of information that can kind of help you make a bit more of a decision. Now, I might do a deeper dive on Revert in a different video, but again, this is just to help you kind of understand. Also, what we look at is VFAT. Now, I've mentioned VFAT before. It's very similar to what Revert kind of do. It allows you to manage positions and also allows you to really understand different positions on different chains. So again, if we go CB, we go jump over here first, filter this. We have it set, it's on all chains, and then straight away you can see here again, we have Base, we have it here, and we have Binance. And again, it gives you the different APRs based on whatever token maybe you want to farm. You can pretty much set it to in this as well. TVLs you can set it to search for assets. So if we go wrap Bitcoin, I think. So now you can see we have a wrap Bitcoin and Bitcoin pair again here. It's 10% again. Weekly rewards. TVL is high enough. This is on AVAX chain. Again, another potential opportunity here. If it's a case, we'll have to look a bit more into what the BTC.B is. Is it the AVAX version of Bitcoin? This could become like a no impermanent loss. 100% basically yield is coming to you. So again, 10% with no impermanent loss, which is definitely something to look at. And again, something we wouldn't have seen if we didn't dive a bit deeper into it. And last but not least is our good old friends over here in DeFiLlama. Again, use DeFiLlama pretty much to every single day. I would tend to, their APRs at times do vary. They don't seem to be as up to date maybe with the pools that come out, say, in the likes of these platforms. However, for pretty much a process of building it out, it is brilliant. So in this token here, we're going to just look, say, at all different Bitcoin positions. We're looking to have no impermanent loss, and we're only getting into pools over $1 million in value. This gives you pretty much the opportunities at the moment. So you can see if we set the APYs from highest to lowest, you can see here on BTC here on Ethereum, you can get 8.9%. Seems to be the highest. Again, unless you have a large amount of capital, Ethereum is going to kind of eat up with fees. You can see over here actually on BTCB, again on Silo Finance, on the AVAX chain, you're getting 4.3% for depositing, and that's all you're doing. You're literally just depositing it in. You don't have to do anything else. You're earning 4.3%, and you know it's earnings again. So definitely something that allows you to kind of quickly get a snapshot of different chains. Again, if you're only ever involved in one chain, what's going to happen is you're not going to see everything. You're going to miss opportunities, and from a yield farming point of view, you need to be constantly checking around. And then pretty much that leads us then to, obviously here, is if you're on an actual exchange and platform, that all these ones that I looked at previously are just pretty much like aggregators to show you the different positions. You can get in and out of positions here, but what happens is you have the actual exchanges that create the pairs, create liquidity, and provide the incentives. And the case here is obviously with SwapX. With SwapX, you can see here, if we just looked at the Rapsonic USDC position, again, you can dive into that. It's giving you up to 174% of an APR again. And pretty much it's just an opportunity how and where to find yields. Again, if you're following a chain closely, you may see tokens launching on chains, and again, there are opportunities for these tokens to potentially could run. And again, if you're getting into positions and providing liquidity, they can be very valuable and rewarding to you. But the key thing here, I suppose, you want to take away from this is we're not APR chasing. We're looking to build up sustainable income, sustainable systems. And for me personally, I only get into LPs now in terms of the bigger ones, I suppose, with tokens that I'm happy to hold. So for me in this example here, I'm happy to hold Sonic, and obviously this is a position I'm in at the moment anyway, but it's a position that I'm comfortable in because I'm farming this position, I'm building my Sonic bag, building my LP and points and things like that, and overall just continuing the flywheel. So look, we're going to leave it there. Hopefully this helps you kind of understand a bit more about yield farm and how to potentially find opportunities. If you're interested in joining the group that I just mentioned, check out my website. Click up here on the link, should hopefully bring it to you. Have it set up right. Also, it'll be in the description below if you're interested in joining us. So look, we're going to leave it there. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope everyone has a great day.